There's a nice quote that says, no single raindrop ever considers itself responsible for the flood. Let me repeat that. No single raindrop ever considers itself responsible for the flood. So we all have our thoughts, we all have our words, and we all have our actions. And sometimes our thoughts, words, and actions get us in a lot of trouble. Whether they're justified or unjustified, it doesn't matter. Our thoughts, words, and actions sometimes get us in trouble. So sometimes we hear that sometimes people say, I didn't say anything, or I didn't do anything. But the question is, were you thinking anything? Why? Because even sometimes when you go in a room full of people, you could see, you could feel the flood of negativity. So what does that indicate? That if you could feel the flood of negativity, that means our thoughts are just our thoughts alone, what to speak of our words or our actions, adds to the overall flood of negativity in any family or community. And so the conclusion is this, is that we can live our lives in one of two ways. One, we can always send out a flood of negativity, or two, we can build the ship of our character. And what does that mean? So there's a nice quote that says, ships don't sink because of the water around them. Ships sink because of the water that gets in them. We can't stop everything on the outside, opposition, criticism, rumors, or traffic. But if we allow what's on the outside to get on the inside, then we'll sink into depression, fear, anger, and vengeance. So in this regard, there's a nice and very famous story from the Holy Bible. So once upon a time, God went to one of his devotees named Noah, and he says, my dear Noah, you have a mess. There's a great flood coming to destroy all of mankind. Here's the message. Build an ark, a ship, so that you and your family will survive. So life tells us the same thing. And what is that? We all have a flood of difficulties that come in our life. This is known as our mess. So what's the message? The message is build the ship of our character, which means build humility, build tolerance, build forgiveness. What's the purpose of forgiveness? To keep what's on the outside, the ocean of negativity, from getting on the inside. And if you think about it, a ship is composed of many different parts. And what's the purpose of these different parts of a ship? They're meant to keep the ship afloat and so that it can move properly towards its destination. So what is the purpose of Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavatiya Kinshana Sarva Gunas Tatra Samasate Suraha? Sarva Gunas means all the good qualities. Why, as practicing spirituals, why do we always try to cultivate these good qualities? Because they're like the different components of the ship. They're meant to keep our peace of mind afloat so that we could properly move towards our spiritual destination. And so, therefore, the Bhagavatam, in the 12th canto, chapter 4, verse 40, it says, Samsara sindum ati dushyanama tete shonanya plavo bhagavata purusha tamasa lila kata rasini shevanam antarena. It says, if you want to, samsara sindum. Sindhu means ocean. So if you want to cross this ocean of samsara, birth and death, then you have to build a ship. And what is this ship composed of? Is it composed of wood? Is it composed of metal? No, it's composed of Lila Kata Rasini Shevanam Antarena. It's composed of the nectarian pastimes of Krishna, God. Why? So the purpose is so that we could build Yasyasti Bhaktir Bhagavatiya Kinshana Sarva Gunas. So we could build all of these good qualities, learn the moral of these stories to keep our peace of mind afloat, our relationships afloat, and most importantly, our love for God and our love for each other afloat. And so, the last point I would like to make is that basically we could see in this world that there are two things outside our control and things inside our control. Outside our control is a flood. Inside our control is building a ship. In much the same way, outside our control is a flood of negativity. Inside our control is building the ship of our character, our humility, our tolerance, and our forgiveness. So therefore, there's a nice uh, Greek philosopher Epictetus, he says, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. It is only after you have faced up to this fundamental rule and learned to distinguish between what you can and can't control that inner tranquility and outer effectiveness become possible. So therefore, in chapter 4, verse 36 of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, even if you are considered to be the greatest sinner of all sinners, if you are situated on the boat of transcendental knowledge, you will be able to cross the ocean of miseries. So in life, we all make mistakes. So we experience a flood of negativity from our own mistakes, which to speak of a flood of negativity from other people's mistakes. So sometimes in life, we feel like I'm so sinful, right? I regret the mistakes. We cannot change that because we're not perfect. We all make mistakes. And sometimes our actions, thoughts, they may or may not be justified, but whether they're justified or unjustified, the conclusion is we all experience a flood of negativity. No problem. Krishna says, if you experience a flood of negativity from your own karma, from your own mistakes, from your own sins, no problem. Still, build the ship of your character. And so therefore, Krishna concludes in the Gita, Sarva Dhamma Padati Yajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja Aham Twam Sarva Pape Pyo Mokshai Shami Mashuchaha. He says, abandon all varieties of religion. And what is that? The religion of regret, the religion of pride, the religion. What is religion? There's a saying, whatever a person is most devoted to, that's his religion. So if we make mistakes and we're devoted to that mistake, that's our religion. Krishna says, abandon the religion of your mistakes. Abandon the religion of other people's mistakes. Just surrender unto me, and I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. I will deliver you from the flood of negativity from other people's mistakes and from your own mistakes. So that's our topic for today. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.